jumping and everything, but I'm testing audio as I'm getting this live stream started. And sound looks like you can hear me. Hello, welcome Friday morning, and I'm gonna get into some tech stuff, like stuff that I was looking into on X and Grok and everything, where I usually jump into my AI chatbot, and it's apparently down. And there's servers. There was a fire in the Oregon plant for X and Grok, and there's some outages, and I'm not able to link grok.com to X and everything. Hello, thank you for joining here this Friday morning. I'm getting into this Grok fire at the Grok fire plant. I'm gonna this new podcast I'm listening to lately on a former TV show, Seventh Heaven. They a bunch of the actors get back on the show and talk about their experiences, relive episodes, and there's this one episode that really got me like thinking. Someone else, I'm connected with this actor over on Instagram, and reminded me of what he had saying about the acting audition process. And I'm taking a leap. I'm jumping into creating courses. I'm gonna create a all aspect video creation course, A to Z, on how to create video. So you stick to in tune with that. I'll be asking for like people to jump in and test it and everything like that. And I'm gonna talk a little bit entrepreneur and introduce how another TV show of the '90s, a little reaction. I don't know if I'll be able to play sound here right now. I can try, but in any event, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna go through and have it on screen and talk about it. And I'm gonna get into that first with the X news. Let me share screen here. Bring side screen up, and yeah, X moving right along here. X, there's a widespread outages with no confirmation yet on whether it's the result of a cyber attack. But another thing, like from a Grok post it themselves, right, from Grok itself, unlikely that Grok caused the outage. Reports indicate a fire at a Hillsboro, Oregon data center on May 22nd, 2025, led to issues like profiles not loading, DMs loading, being down. This was, and apparently, maybe I was trying to log in through Grok and connect X with XAI, and it wasn't working for whatever reason. This may be related to that. Thank you for joining. I'm Tommy Kenyon, emerging creator here over on YouTube X. Thank you for chiming and jumping in here. And yeah, we're getting into the news on the latest on the Grok fire at this plant, Grok fire and everything. Jumping in, and hope everyone's okay. I don't see any reports of injuries or anything, so that's good. This was a hardware failure not related to Grok or AI software. Engineering team confirmed a data center issue, while XAI's acquisition of X in March 2025 raises questions about integration. There's no evidence linking Grok to this outage. So, my experience, but not linked in any way. X is aware of some users not are experiencing performance issues on the platform today. We are experiencing a data center outage straight from X Engineering and actively working to remediate the issue. Welcome, B. Belinda, coming on talking some tech, talking some TV show, and how one TV show, just what's coming. I get diving into this X issue right now. Outage fire at this Oregon plant. I'm just learning today that happened on May 22nd. I'm gonna get into how a TV show from the 90s. Actually, I'm watching this one clip, and I don't know if I'll be able to play the sound of it. I saw StreamYard actually has added the ability to show chats on the screen. Can I do this live here? I saw that and I went live. I was looking for other things. Oh, live comments from viewers will appear on screen during your stream. Keep the conversation going and make the audience part of it. So, welcome 2075, Belinda from eBlock from the Creating Change YouTube community. If you know, you know. So, I've added a little chat here on the screen. Whenever you chat, you will be right here with me on the screen. So, jump in on the YouTube chat and your comments will show up automatically on the screen itself. Belinda from eBlock 2075, just around the corner. All right, getting back into this X thing, I'm gonna have a few more on this. The outage on May 22nd affected users globally with reports from the US, India, UK, and Maldives. Maldives? How do you pronounce that? Am I pronouncing that right? Maldives. Major U.S. cities in the New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Houston saw significant issues. A fire at a Dallas center near Portland, Oregon, likely caused. I can also pop up comments like this as well. Super duper trooper Tommy the tech. Double tap the screen. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for doing that. And there you go. B showed up on the screen with me as soon as she chatted. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for coming on, popping on live. So yeah, X outage down treatment plant in Oregon. Got a few more tweets. Posts. What do you call tweets and posts now on X? Is it just post, repost? I mean, people still say tweet. I know. Now that it's not Twitter anymore. Absolutely showing love. Thank you for showing love. And that's the X news. And I'm gonna move on to this comment here, and I might be able to play this if my speaker's working. I might have to turn off the ad echo here when I get to playing. But this podcast, it's muted right now. I'm just gonna like talk about what the actor I connected with on Instagram was saying, and then I listened to this like twice. The second time around, I listened to this twice, and they were talking about the audition and the acting process, the acting audition process, and how they love going to rooms and as an actor, seeing and connecting with as far as a competition, collaborative, both competitive and collaborative way. Like, hey, they're your friends. It's like a high school reunion kind of thing every time they go and audition and see. I just remembered. I had about the. I'll have to see if I can find the clip live. I just had the guy talking on my show about it, and yeah, this is catching up with the Camdens. If you know Seventh Heaven, they talk about the show and everything. And this is a show that David Gallagher, Mackenzie Rosman, Beverly Mitchell brings on guests. They bring on former actors and actresses who were on the show as well to talk about the show. And it's just a great, like, I loved all these podcasts talking about all these past shows because it's reminder. I actually did a while. I didn't finish the show, and I actually completely finished it because of this podcast. I didn't. I had like one season left, and so I watched this. But I'm going to have to find. You bear with me. I can talk and find at the same time here. Let's see if I can hide my window. If I can talk and we were talking about the Ignition project and how like yeah, it's a bunch of his friends going to. I'm gonna have to see if I can find this on my Spotify podcast. It's a recent one. I did it in like November, December, and I'll have to find it here. Let's see. I keep talking as I pull this up, and we were talking about the audition. How like high school, you meet your friends at the audition, but like I hope you get the part, but I'm also going for the part, so I hope you don't. Like competitive and collaborative at the same time. It was a weird, and then like, and he had this dude that I connected with had nothing but good things to say about being in the in-person audition room and everything. Almost getting to my show here on Spotify with Sweet Tea. Keeping it real with Sweet Tea podcast. If you don't know about that, missing out on some good things with that podcast from Look Up podcasts here. There it is. I'm finding my show. All right. So I'm gonna put this here and get back to, and it's, which one was it? So I'm gonna get to this. I'm just finding it live as I'm showing everything. But yeah, StreamYard added this let me take this full so I can do this right. This thing right here. This chat. StreamYard added the display YouTube chats on the screen. So I wanted to be able to do that. So let's see, which one was it? December. I released it in November, I think. Yeah, Sam Bonhorn. Good dude. Connecting with, we support each other over on Instagram. Like, he's a good dude. Let me see if it plays. Okay. No, I need to log in. And I'll need to like create, I know my I use a login with Facebook. I'll need to create. I lost my train of thought. I created a Facebook login to Spotify. And when you log in, just FYI, you get video on Spotify if they upload video. Just an FYI there. So now I'm logged in. Video should show up. There we go. Where did I? Do I have chapter markers? Oh man. Well, it's the tease right here, but I'll get back to that. And like again, like this show. See, I had it queued up here. I'm gonna play a bit of this here, right there from this part. That's where they were talking about it. I'm gonna unmute and adjust. Bear with me as I adjust my audio settings. Reduce mic background noise. There we go. Cancellation, and I went away for a split second. All right, so I sound differently right now, but just so you can hear everything, and I'm gonna take this full.
Category.
Jeez, you start crying.
I was crying on the way home anyways, but like
I do think, like, unfortunately, I feel like the Zoom culture, pandemic, whatever it is, Zoom culture now within self-tape culture has changed everything, and I do really miss that that camaraderie of when you would go in and like you would sit in a room and you would see a few people you knew and you would kind of vibe off people's energy a little bit.
I loved the room.
I also just loved being able to work with the casting director and have direction and being able to make that change.
Yeah.
Because this the Zoom culture, like I feel like it's also like it's the mirror culture. It's where you've memorized it, you've looked in the mirror, you've done it a million times, and like it's like part of acting is how you react and how you can change and transition. And now with Zoom, like you're just getting this kind of
plus you can't work manufactured. Honestly,
but I've booked things based on my flexibility.
Exactly.
So sometimes you go in, you're like, and I'll tell them like, hey, I thought maybe I'd do it like this, and they're like, sure, let's see it, and then they're like, actually, we think this, and then I'll flip it and do something different. Yeah. And that's what's impressive.
Exactly.
So that, but you can't get flexibility on a tape. Yeah. But anyway, we will be right back. We'll continue this in a minute.
All right. So that was the point. That reminded me of the point that like made me think of, and now I have to find that Instagram post because it was like I think it was his last one. So he made a post on just that here. So let me go to his profile. Go to his profile here, and was it this? Surprising reason why one-line auditions are hard. Which one was it? Do you have common? No, was it this? Okay, it was this. I'm gonna like talk and like he. I guess this is a whole clip here.
It's terrible. You drive yourself crazy. You're like a rat in a cage trying to figure out how do I say get out of the pool.
I do this a lot.
Here
I
it is.
always rehearse the same few lines over and over and over to see if I can do it this way or that way. You know, sometimes I'll have like one crazy take that makes no sense to do, but it's like I have range. I'll do it in all these different ways. That'll get them. That'll impress them. But I'm not so sure anymore. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments.
So, what do you think about the whole flexibility thing with, I don't know, any actors out there? Just a thought here, but before I move on and everything, I don't know exactly where we were talking about this on my show here, but let me just play this out here. Just the intro of the episode. It's on Sam's acting journey where I actually talked with him.
The audition is the job. So what happens is you're auditioning along with hundreds of other people who all want the same thing. They all want the same job and they're all working for it as hard as you are. And so it's definitely not always up to you. It's not up to you really at all. Definitely do your best. Have fun with it, but treat the audition like it's the job. Do your best. Pretend like you're on set. Pretend like this is what you've been called for. This is what they want. You're on set. The cameras are on you. You do your best. You know, you pretend like this is the job. And once you finish the audition...
Hey there, tech enthusiasts. Welcome to Tech Time with Sweet Tea, the podcast where we...
Let me pause that. Let me skip through here. I'm just gonna skip through this live.
And theater before that, and it was kind of like a fun thing. But my acting teacher was like, you know, I think you'd have a lot of fun with this. You should pursue acting. Everything like that.
I think I usually tease. I usually tease the middle, so like I think it's closer to here.
Needs multiple people. And, you know, you look at the most famous movies, Star Wars, you know, George Lucas wrote the screenplay. It's his a little bit. I think that's probably the best part of acting for me.
What is your ideal character? Script analysis, anything like that? What's your favorite part?
It's probably a toss-up between the fun of being on set and seeing how everything works and character development, because character development...
He talks about character development right there.
Younger actors have what you have seen, and what challenges should they be prepared for?
The biggest piece of advice is that don't let the rejection get to you, and it's not really rejection, it's more like winning the lottery is what getting
I
a
love
job
that
is.
thought from him.
Because as I said, it's not really up to you. So don't take the no's as like a no to you. That's just the way that it is. It's something that every actor experiences.
Yeah, it's trying to think of an analogy or a way to put it, like if like in another job, like you're going to work every day, like you said, that's the audition.
Here's
what
the
would you
tease.
equate? I guess a promotion in the job. Like, what would you equate to landing a gig?
Probably being a gold miner and mining for ore, and then it's not like your fault if you don't find like gold or whatever. It's just someone got to it before you, or it like you weren't in the right vein, in the right area of the mind. This is a weird analogy. But yeah, it's not really up to you. So it's not your fault if you don't get picked. Obviously do your best, because it's not gonna hurt your chances if you're a really good actor. And if you're an actor, definitely make sure to like hone your craft and get better. And when you're getting better, you're gonna make everyone around you also want to become a better actor. I remember when I used to go to acting classes, I used to see like the older kids that, could do a lot of stuff and really, did more, and they could, especially like on like beat switches and like in like comedic ways, they could do a bunch of stuff. And I'm like, whoa, I should practice that. I want to do that. And that's kind of how it works. When you're doing better, other people also want to be like you and they want to get better.
Up the game. And what you speak a little bit, seeing your colleagues, have you ran into friends or people at auditions, and can talk about like making, how is it like, can you make connections on like going on auditions too?
Yeah, every once in a while I'll run into like somebody that I know. Most of the time now it's just kind of self-tapes. Is the way that things are leaning for casting. Every once in a while you get an audition, and sometimes I'll run into like somebody that I know from there. Acting is like a really friendly place most of the time, so it's not hard to make friends when you're waiting waiting for the audition and stuff like that. So that's always fun. There's one kid that I know that we look pretty similar, both like brown hair, blue eyes sort of thing, and so we'll get cast for like the same stuff sometimes, and so that's when we'll like run into each other. So that's always pretty fun.
Child actors, I think that they do that a lot because I know the time's limited on set, so they'll cast people who look similar.
You've, fed your creativity a little bit. I think that's
a little positive influence here into a character, and I've seen, and I'll touch on that.
It's like I have good friends that I've known all my life.
What biggest pet peeve? I'm going to spin this in a way that I've heard on my podcast.
Going through like
the
fast
it's a
reply and
hypothetical
everything.
situation. It's treat as
about what the consequences would be, or how the project I'm working on this week.
Or like showed up for me. You mentioned our smartphones, smart devices.
I can talk to people who
are lessons based on what you just said about that.
I think I teased the end here.
Our devices.
I don't know.
It's not a rejection. It's just that's the way how it is. Doing everything productively is by having a plan and following that like schedule, whatever it is.
All right. Any
trying to find the
final thoughts before I go to the final question? Any final thoughts?
Well, just want to reaffirm acting wise that like there's a lot of people will say it's rejection. It's not a rejection. It's just that's the way how it is. It's more like winning the lottery. It's something you actively take part in, but it's not all the way up to you. So it's not really rejection. I think it's just more of an opportunity that you might be able to take, might not be able to.
And sure. And before I dive into this last
hard as you are. And so it's definitely not always up to you. It's not up to you really at all. Definitely do your best. Have fun with it. The audition is the job. So what happens is you're auditioning along with hundreds of other people who all want the same thing. They all want the same job, and they're all working for it as hard as you are. And so it's definitely not always up to you. It's not up to you really at all. Definitely do your best.
Yeah, there's some. Thanks for bearing with me as I found something like that, because I remembered I talked to him about it on my show and everything. Thanks for bearing with me as I maybe shown through some repeats and everything. But I want to move on to the last TV episode and get me into taking a leap, and I'm coming up with some courses here. But I'm gonna get into a TV show. You might have heard it. Home Improvement. I'm gonna keep it muted as it plays, but it shows right here. If you ever remember the '90s TV show Home Improvement? Tim Allen, starring Tim Allen and his three sons, or Tim the Toolman Taylor, three sons, wife, and everything. I was watching this one clip. It was the middle son, Randy, played by JTT, Jonathan Taylor Thomas, was going up for a play audition, talking about plays and auditions again, going up for an audition for Peter Pan, and he was like, they're trying to show the best way of how they show flying on the stage and everything. And if you ever know the show, he comes up to his dad, Tim, and he says to him, I need to like fly better or something. Like I'm trying to find the clip. I can't actually find the clip, but I'm just reliving as what I saw on the post here, and I guess I could go back and look and see if I can find it there, but I'm just trying to explain the actual scene in the clip, and he was trying to like, I need to like fly better or something like that. He needed to fly better, and he went to Tim, like, how to always make things better with power tools and doing his thing, and he wanted, I'll get you up, get you some pulleys and a system of pulleys and everything, and I'll have you flying around the whole school, type thing. And that was like the whole premise of this TV show, of Tim, this guy who wanted to like add more power to everything and try new different things. They often failed a bunch of times. And it reminded me, like, Home Improvement, this TV show in the 90s that aired on ABC TGIF Fridays, whatever. I think it was one of those TGI Fridays, and moved later on to like Tuesday when things changed. But it reminded me, and it had the feeling of, this show is screaming entrepreneurship, failing, trying new things, going all in. Tim goes all in, power, grunt, like, goes all in on the power. As I'm adjusting, because I don't need sound anymore here, as I'm adjusting my audio back. There we go. I appear back again. It's probably using power resources and everything, but this TV show screams and shows entrepreneurship, with Tim going all in on an idea, often fails, and does it over and over again each episode. And I was watching that clip, and I came to that thought about this TV show Home Improvement, and how, like, he wanted to take Randy's Peter Pan audition for the play flying, and he wanted to fly better or something, and Tim was like, I can have you on pulleys, I can get up a pulley system, and I can have you flying around the school faster than anyone, kind of thing. It's the pulley system, Randy flying, prancing, and they're instructing Randy to prance around the stage to emulate flying. Emulate's the right word. And yeah, it just reminded me of that TV show. And now I want to get into this last part. As you know, I'm a video creator. I'm I'm developing a course. I'm finding people 5 to 10 people gonna like as I create the course and everything, and I want to make it better for you. I want to make it better for you. Take this full here that I'm creating this course A to Z on video content creation, video editing, live streaming, anything you want. Let me know what you'd want to see in this course. I'm putting this course together from me to you, creating this course, and I'm going all in. And I'm going to be writing a book too about sharing, not just doing the YouTube thing, sharing my ideas in a book as well. I'm creating this book. I'm going to write a book, create a course on video content creation. The book will be like kind of how I got started into it. It's all on the show podcast, on my podcast as well. It's all there as well, but it's just one other avenue that I want to put it out there and promote at that. And I'm going to end this here, and as I need to do a Friday video and everything. And thanks for chiming in, B. Thanks for stopping and showing the support. And as always, thanks for coming in, watching, and on mastering video creation. I'm doing some reactions here on some tech stuff that is going on. If you let me know if anything else is coming up, we can come in and chat about it, or comment your thoughts, come on screen. We have YouTube comments right here on the screen, and it's easy to do. It's a flick, and you can see you right on the screen, and that's something to share in the Create and Change community, by the way. Later on, so I'll publish this video later, and it'll be on my video library and website. But I'm gonna end it here. I got some other things to do right now, and I'll see you later. Thanks for watching.